What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty, aka Doughtinator. Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to explore the possibility that this video on screen right now, the fastest settings in GT Sport, may not be 100% accurate. We're going to look into this in more detail during this video, but it's more specifically about force feedback settings, and one setting very specifically, which is the force feedback sensitivity. So accessed from the race menu, you can change this setting. Here are my recommended settings on screen. I've used these settings for months. I've been very fast with these settings, but before we begin, I'd like you to write in the comments below what your settings are. In my case, I'd write 2-10, so force feedback 2, force feedback sensitivity is 10. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. If you do find this video useful, hit that like button, consider subscribing. I always like to make a couple of videos as often as I can, every couple of months, to help you get faster in GT Sport. So example here we have on screen right now. Last week I was 84th in EMEA with the time on screen right now. I was running some time trial sessions to try and improve this time, and I was actually getting a little bit frustrated, not quite able to just get those improvements. So it's the Audi R18, so you need to restart for every lap, you need to charge the hybrid. But I'm going to do something crazy here. First of all, I'm going to check ABS is set to default, which it is. I've made that mistake before. Check I've got the soft tyres on. Yes, we've got the soft tyres on. But I'm going to change force feedback sensitivity from 10, which was my recommended settings, to 1. Now, playing on screen right now is exactly uninterrupted, unedited footage. This is my first lap after changing these settings, and we're going to ride on board now. So for this first lap, it was more of a feeling lap, trying to get used to the way it feels differently. So I'm going to explain right now. Force feedback sensitivity 10, it really makes the wheel feel tight. Around the center there's a lot of resistance to applying steering lock. You get a lot of detailed feedback from curbs, bumps, loss and regain of grip through the wheel, through the force feedback settings. And I'm still going to stick by my recommendation of 10, because that's how you get the feedback through the wheel. You learn the most about the wheel. However, in this time trial session, I was finding that I was actually fighting with the wheel, and now we're running on force feedback sensitivity setting 1, so absolute minimum settings. Even on this first lap out, it's much more loose around the center. There's not as much resistance. There's less detail being fed back to the force feedback motor in the wheel. And because of this less feedback, I'm able to dominate the wheel, just overcome the force feedback. It's less intrusive, so I can instantly get my steering angle to a certain angle. Very useful for going around a lot of these high-speed corners at Spa. As you can see right now in sector 2, I'm already up on my best lap time. This is the first lap after changing this setting, which was really surprising. I think the thing I noticed most was that the car felt like it had more grip, because there's less resistance to the turning of the wheel. It's maybe tricking my brain a little bit just to think that I'm steering, I'm not having resistance from the wheel, the car's turning more positively. And yeah, we've just gone blue in the last sector as well. We're just going to throw away that lap there. With the Audi R18, you have to restart every lap and charge the hybrid. So yeah, the clip's completely uninterrupted so far. This is now to start my second lap after changing this force feedback sensitivity setting, and we're going to go across the line. The Ghost we are racing is the fastest Ghost in EMEA, currently first. Into turn 1, we actually make the apex absolutely perfectly, get a good exit. The best exit we've had for quite a while actually during this time trial session, and through Eau Rouge again, with there being a lot less force feedback resistance around the center, I'm able to just carve smoother lines around some of these high-speed corners. We're going to get on the brakes into this chicane section here, And as I say, we're right on top of the Ghost, so we've got absolutely fantastic pace through the chicane. And you'll notice almost every single apex we hit perfectly, and I think that's because I'm able to get the steering wheel turned to the exact amount of degrees that are required, and we're not having the force feedback fighting against what we're doing. Even on force feedback sensitivity setting 1, we still get the rumble over the curbs, we still get a bit of feedback for when we're losing grip, but it's much more subtle. It's more of a hint as to what's going on, rather than something that's really going to be off-putting and distracting for you running your lines. So we are down in sector 1 by a fraction, but we're massively up in sector 2, and that all comes from just having that precision with turning, that the wheel isn't fighting me. I'm able to control the wheel, put my precision inputs in that I need to be doing, and now we're going to be looking to get a perfect braking into the final bus stop chicane, which we nail the brakes perfectly, turning absolutely perfect. Again, just the less feedback around the centre is going to give us a 154.6. That lap time is going to put us 50th in EMEA, and that's only the second lap that we did after changing that setting. So let's try and summarise what's just happened there. I've just changed a force feedback sensitivity setting to the absolute opposite of what I recommended in my fastest settings in GT Sport video, and within 2 laps I've beat my time and I've put it 50th in EMEA. Now, I think probably the most important thing is, if you get into a rut when you're doing time trial, just change something. The menu is so easy to get to, and the setting is very easy to change. You can do it while you're driving in the pause menu. Just try it. I don't think there are any perfect settings for force feedback, but I am going to still stick with my original recommendation of force feedback sensitivity being 10, because I think that is the perfect way to learn the car, learn the track, you gather the most feedback from the car. You get a lot of detail back through the steering wheel. All your time you're driving with force feedback sensitivity 10, your brain is processing the information that the car's giving to you. So run a bunch of laps with force feedback sensitivity 10. You get a lot of feeling through the steering wheel, and you will be learning. But when you want to improve or try something different, or if you're in a bit of a rut, just make a change. Reduce that sensitivity. Your brain will still remember all the information, so you're still processing what you've learned from before, but the feedback won't be disrupting your lines. So you're going to be able to know exactly what you need to do. The force feedback won't be disruptive, and you'll be able to really wrestle with the car and get the fastest lap times possible. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing. If you'd like to know more about GT Sport and get faster in GT Sport, join the Race Asylum Discord. There'll be a link for that in the description below, and we're going to catch you in the next one.